You can't write this. You genuinely cannot write it. We just opened the box.
Leave it with me.
Cannot believe that. We was even joking as well about the packaging. Dave will sort it, won't you, Dave?
Yeah, of course we will.
Oh, as if. Honestly, you could not write that. So today we're starting another little job at this property here. Some of you may recognise it. This is the job where I've done a bathroom probably 8 or 9 months ago, and anything that could have gone wrong doing that bathroom went wrong. From taking the tiles off the walls, bought all the plaster off the walls, and then the boarding off the walls, the ceiling had to come down, the walls had to come down, the floor had to come up, we had to redo the floor, everything, and a complete nightmare. And then to top it off, once we were done, there was a mark in the worktop that went into the bathroom, so we had to come back to swap that. However, they didn't lose faith in me, but now we've come back to do the downstairs cloakroom, which they sort of spoke about while we were here last time. So let me take you in and show you just what we're up to here. So this is the little downstairs cloakroom that we've got to remove. We're having new units put in here, new replacement toilet in the vanity unit there, replacement basin in a unit there, herringbone tiling going on the back. I know Nath, my tiler, is going to love that, but luckily it's only just along the back bit there. We're re-skimming this wall. We're re-skimming this wall because we've got a new radiator going on, and also we're putting some downlighters in the ceiling, re-skimming the ceiling to make it all flush, nice and neat. So what we've got to do, get the water off, which luckily for us is on isolators behind here. So get the water off, get these out, get the tiles off, get the floor up, whip the rad off. We can start seeing exactly how we're going to plan out and do this downstairs cloakroom. Right, welcome back to the channel. Hope everybody is doing well. As you will have seen with the little clip at the start of this video, we have a bit of an issue on this job. Now, it's an issue that I really could do without, because as it's the run up to Christmas, everybody wants stuff doing and the house is back to normal and everything done before the festive season sort of really gets a grip. This issue is, to be fact, there's 2 issues in this video with the same item. It's something that I could have really done without, as you'll see. You'll see it at the end of the video when it's sort of brought to light what's gone on. So anyway, I'll leave that for you to watch. I want to be quite brief now because I'm filming this Saturday morning in the van. It's about 8:15. It's absolutely freezing, even though the sun's out, it's freezing. I quickly want to touch on, we are Black Friday, and as you know, this channel is sponsored by Unilite. You see my Unilite stuff here. We've got a Black Friday sale. It's been on Friday, Saturday so far. So if you're watching this Sunday night, it will be still running Sunday night, still running Monday, and knowing Unilite, probably the rest of the week, but don't quote me on it. All the links will be in the description, but use my code MJTIFF. It will get you an extra 5% off the Unilite sale. Now, most of the stuff is 60% off. It'll get you another 5% off, and it'll also put you into a draw to win loads of prizes, such as PS5s and loads of stuff. I can't really remember what it is, but I know there's loads of stuff. So use my code MJTIFF on Unilite, all the details below. Also, quickly, the armed guard, the armed van alarm, we are doing a Black Friday deal with that. I've teamed up with Armed. It's meant to be 180 quid for the year. We're doing a deal over Black Friday, so you've still got Sunday night, Monday to get this. This one will close on Monday. We're doing it for £99. That's £99 for the whole year, supplied with the bits that plug into your van and into the back. Supplied with that, subscription for a year. Then after that, the following year, the subscription will work on a £7.99 a month. But for the first year, 100 quid, £99, all in to cover your van, an alarm, a tracker, all on your app, and it's also a tool inventory, and you can get tool insurance through it as well. So that's that quickly done. All the details are in the description below. That will end Monday night. The Unilite one will probably go on for a couple more days. Right, that's enough plug-in. These people that I work with and the people that I do deals with and give you discount codes and deals on, they help to allow me to make the content that I do on the channel. You know, it's part of YouTube. It's how it works. You can't really moan anyway because you're saving money from it. Right, I'm going to let you crack on with the video. Drop in the comments and let me know what you think. What would you do at this point? Because I've just watched it back while editing it and I was a little bit stressed out. Right, that's the tour of the basin out. They come out really easy. With them isolation valves, just a case of turning them off, whipping it out. I've got a little bit of water left in it, but we'll soak that up. Right, what we've got to do now is get the floor up, get the tiles off here, and see what we're dealing with. Hopefully, the floor should be okay underneath. I don't see why not. There's no signs of any sort of damage or anything going on, any leakages. So we'll whip the floor up, get these off, and we can have a good look. I've also got my goggles out the van, my safety glasses out the van, so at least I'm not going to get nothing in my eye, because I know you lot are massively concerned whenever I take tiles off that I don't wear my safety goggles. So, there you go. Right, let's move my coffee cup, most important, and we'll get these tiles off the wall. There we go, wall tiles off, starting on the floor now. So let's get these ripped back and see what the floor's like. There we go, floor up, tiles off the walls. Let's get all this cleaned out now, see what's going on. So there we go, completely stripped out, floors up. I've had to scrape off a load of the adhesive that was on the floors because it was really raised up, but I think I've got the majority of it out now. We've took the radiator off. We're going to be putting a towel rail on here, so we have got to chop into these 10 mils that are currently feeding it. So I dare say we're going to work from this side. I think it's a 500 towel rail that's going in, so we'll work from here. So for argument's sake, the pipe's going to come out here and we'll bring another one out here. This wall's being re-skimmed as well, as I've said. Now, these are a right pain in the arse, in my honest opinion. I don't know why anyone puts them flexi connectors on with the isolators. Either have a separate isolator, then put a flexi on it, because now to change these, to take these out, I've got to drain the water down, drain the hot down, because it's a gravity fed system, and do that. So yeah, it's a little bit of a pain, but we'll get that done as well. Also got the electrician coming out tomorrow to get the cabling in for the spotlights, and to move that pull cord to just a little switch on the outside here. So yeah, little quick strip out, but I'm going to shoot off now to plumb base, get the towel rail, then we can measure exactly where the pipework's going to come for it, and then we can get that in. So I'm going to pick the towel rail up, and I'm just marking up on this wall exactly where we're going to bring the pipework out for it, because if you look here and here, they're the inlets to the rad, so they're 450 apart. So what we're going to do, we're going to work on this valve on the left hand side being our sort of fixed point, so we work from there 450 over, and then we've run a line through the middle and it's bringing it out exactly where we're going to have the pipe work. Now we've got to reduce down from 10 mil, or reduce up, sorry, from 10 mil to 15 mil. So what I want to do with this one is cut that in there, and then the 15 mil will just poke straight out of the wall. And then this side I'm going to come with an elbow and then bring it straight out here. Now this system is a gravity fed system, so we've got our heating tank bungs. Let's go up into the roof, get it bunged, and hopefully we'll be able to solder the two elbows onto here without too much trouble. Right then, we've got the heating tank here. So the first bung we're going to pop into the vent pipe like so, and then the second bung, we can see the feed coming off the side here, so we know the feed is down in that corner. So let's pop that in there like so. So that's it with the feed bunged off. I don't know if you can see it. Oh yeah, you might be able to. It's just down there. We've got that bunged off. Got the vent bunged off. Just make sure that's in nice and tight. Now hopefully if we go down, cut them, well what we'll do, we'll open the valves up, make sure the pressure's off the system. The heating system's turned off as well. Always make sure the heating system's turned off, pump's not running. We'll open the valves, let some water through. Hopefully it's going to cause a vacuum in the system and we'll be able to get them elbows on without too much problem. So then, let's have a look. Let's whip this off. I always put one of these caps on a TRV valve whenever I take a rad off, just in case the temperature drops down and the valve opens up. Never happens, but the time you don't do it, you know it's going to happen. So let's pop that off. Let's open this valve up and hopefully it doesn't do that. Oh, there's a little bit more pressure in it than I thought there would be. And try again. Cover it up this time. So we're hoping that the pressure is going to slow down on it. Right, slight change of plan. We tried to bung the tank, but because the inlet on the tank, or the feed that feeds the central heating on the tank, the actual fitting that goes into the tank's got two little sort of knobbly ridges on, my bung wasn't sealing into it right. So by the time I messed around with it, I thought, sod it, I'm going to get the hose out of the van. So I've hooked the hose up, running it down into the drain. So we're going to drop the heating system out, get these two done, and then fill it back up. By the time we messed around, I just thought, sod it, we'll just do it that way. So we'll open this valve up now and get the heating drain down. So I'll come back to you in about half an hour, I suppose. Right, there we go. Towel rail pipes are in. That was a bit of a pain because first off I wanted to do it by bunging it. They didn't hold. The bungs didn't hold because sometimes, I don't know if you can make out, there's little notches here that stop this bung going all the way back in. Notches on the fitting going in the tank. So we couldn't bung it, so we've had to drain it down. Hopefully I've just took the top half of the system because this rad was fed from above. So I think I've got it. I think I haven't disturbed too much of the system. We're going to go and turn it back on. But Pipework's coming out. It's an anthracite rad, so what we're going to do is put little Talon anthracite covers on these pipes when it's all done. So that'll be spot on. Plaster's coming tomorrow, possibly Thursday, to get this skimmed up on the walls. Right, let's go and turn the heating back on, fill the tank back up, make sure this is all right, have a bit of a tidy up, because you know what it's like when you start flapping around because I've got the door open, it was setting the smoke alarm off. Don't get this repressed here. Sparky's bin, look, you can tell because there's shit everywhere on the floor. I'll clean that up, Nick, don't worry about it. So I've got a switch going in here, two downlighters in here that he's abolished the ceiling for, but it's not a problem because we're overboarding that. It won't be an issue. So, Rab's in, electrics are now in. We've just got to wait now for Scotty, my plasterer, to come tomorrow, hopefully, get them walls skimmed, get the ceiling boarded and skimmed, and then we can begin getting the units in. Monday morning, back at this little cloakroom. We left it on Thursday with a plasterer, re-skimming the walls. Turn the radio off. Left it Thursday with Scotty, my plasterer, re-skimming the walls. Walls are all done now. The customer over the weekend has painted, obviously, the ceiling. We've got the downlighters to go in and the walls. First coat, I said that there will be little marks and whatnot on it as we're fitting the stuff in, but I began to put the units in. Obviously, we've got a basin unit this side, toilet unit that side. It's fairly straightforward, to be honest. Hot and colds, waste is in position, and then we're going to put FlexiPan connector onto there. Obviously, you can see system going in there as well. So what we're going to do today, or this morning should I say, is get these units in. This one's in. I've levelled this unit up so we can work from this unit, getting this one level, obviously, getting them bolted together, braced together, ready for the plinth to go on the bottom. And then once these are in, we can begin fitting the cistern and whatnot. They're having the floor go down at a later date, probably in a month's time or so. So what I am going to do is, the floor people have left some samples on the, of the floor. So what I'm going to do is put them into position, put the pan on it, but I'm not going to fix it down just yet. I'm going to wait until they've done the floor, because what I'm going to do is come out, remove the pan when they do the floor, and then put it in and bolt it in securely there. Ideally, they'd have got the floor in first, but sometimes you just have to work the way it's going to be so they can trim around it and get it in. Not going to be an issue at all, and obviously we've got the towel rail to go on as well behind me. But for now, we're going to get these bolted into position, screwed into position on the walls, and then we've got them fixed points to work from. So I've just put the cistern into position here. I've got a plinth backer on the back just to stop the bottom of the cistern moving around, as I always show in my videos, because sometimes if you fit them with nothing behind, they flex, and that means the flush pipe can pull out. So we've got that put in the centre. We're now going to offer the pan into position, pull this out. I've got a flexi pan connector to go in, and then we can sort out exactly where the flush pipe's going to go, and then start connecting this system up, get the toilet in, get the front panel cut out, top panel on, and then we can move on to the basin. So let's get the pan in position for this. So we've got the pan into position now. I've measured the middle of the pan, which is here, and obviously I've measured the middle of this backboard that goes on for the back of the toilet. So we've lined them up there, as you can see. So now the pan is bang in the centre of there. So what we'll do, we'll mark around the outside of where the pan will go, because then we know we can cut anything internal of that line. So what we can do now is pull the pan out, and we know we can measure from the top of the pan here to the top of the flush cone here, and we can cut it out. Obviously mark, say for argument's sake there, and then say there and there. I will measure it completely, but we know, for instance, that section, or slightly higher actually, that section we can cut out, and it's going to be covered by where the pan goes. There we go, we've got the back of the backboard cut out now. So as I said, that will fall directly behind the pan. So we know we're not going to have any of that gap on show. I've trimmed off where the flush pipe's got to go. I've set the height. So I've measured from this floor to here, even though, as I said earlier on, they are having a new floor put in. We've got enough play on here, so when that floor comes to go in, I've got to take the toilet pan out. All I have to do then is pop this plinth off, just trim where the flush pipe goes into the bottom of the cistern up a little bit, and then just lift this up. So it's not going to be a problem at all. I thought I'd do it this way. At least then I can just put the pan on this floor there. I haven't got to put it on two little bits of plinth where it could rock around. We'll leave it on this floor so it's nice and solid. So yeah, got that done. Ready now for, where's my flush cone? I had it in my hand a second ago. Put something down and it just disappears. There it is. So I've got the flush cone here. We can pop this in, get it set, pop the plinth off, connect the cold feed up to it, and then we can get the pan in, push it into position, and then we can start on the basin. So fast forward 24 hours, I didn't show you the rest of the day yesterday on this downstairs cloakroom because I went to unpack the basin that's going to drop on the top, and for some reason it's a completely formed unit. For some reason they've sent out a left-hand basin, not a right-hand basin. So I was straight on the phone to Dave at Plumbase, and fair play to him, he's chased me one down. Hopefully it's being delivered out today. So after that yesterday, I just sort of cracked on with everything. I thought, right, I'm going to get the units in. You know, one of them days when you just go, do you know what, I just want to get my head down and get it in. So got the units in, got the handles on, got all the tops on, all ready. What we've got to do is put a little bit of a plinth down the side there to cover that little gap. It's about, 60mm gap down there. Wait for the plinth to come from the bottom. We also hung the rad. So what I'm going to do today, while we're waiting for that worktop to come out, hopefully, Dave said, can't guarantee exactly when it's going to come out today. He's ordered it on a next day delivery. Could be here at 9:30, 10 o'clock. Might be 2 o'clock when it turns up. So we've got this rad to connect in. So we're going to drop the heating system down. As we know from this job, the tanks won't work, the bungs won't work in the tank. So we'll get the water off, drop the heating system out. Luckily the customers have gone out. It's quite a chilly day. Heating's been on. So, it's a good job they're not here as we're dropping the heating out. But with this one, as I think I said earlier on in the video or the previous video, is fed up the wall here. So we can sort of get away with just dropping the top half of the system to connect those tails onto the rad. So we'll do that. They've had the floor guys come out. Hopefully the floor guys are going to get in before Christmas. So I haven't bolted the pan down. I've just put it into position. It's all up and running. But I've just put it into position. And what we can do is when the floor guys come out, whip the pan out for them, and then we can fix it in properly when they've got the floor down. It's not a problem at all. So yeah, first job for today. Get the water off, fill the kettle up first. Fill the kettle up, have a brew, get the water off, and then drop the water out of the heating system for this rad. So I've been a little bit lazy draining this heating system down. Customers have gone out. I just turned the main stop tap off in the kitchen to save me going up into the roof, to be honest. So turn that off, drain the water down, pop the caps off this rad, and just drop the top half of the system off. They're off now. Cut this one to its position. I've marked this one up. We'll get this one cut. We'll do that, then we'll get the fittings on. What I'll do is make these into the bottom of the rad, then put the rad into position and just slide the bottom ones straight on to that pipe. So it all sort of slides in one. Sometimes they can be a bit of a pain. I prefer towel rails with the union nuts on the top, just because they sit a lot easier straight off the towel rail. With this one, we've got to fit it to the bottom and then just slide it on. Won't be too bad, but a little bit of water coming out. Won't be too bad, but we'll get that done. Get this one cut off and get it back on the wall. There we go. Perfect. Just in time, I think. Right, let's get these tightened up. There we go, rad on. Let's get the air out of it. Not that there is much in there at the minute, just while the system fills up. We'll shut that off, let the system build up. Make sure all the rads upstairs are full. We'll go and check them, because sometimes, as I say, it can just drop that little bit of water out the top of them. Make sure they're all done, and then we'll fill this one up. And get the heating on, get it heat tested. Always heat test rads when you add them into systems, because sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes they may need balancing out a little bit. When I dropped this system to take the old rad off, when I came the following day, the customer said 2 of the rads in the back bedrooms weren't working and they were just full of air. Must have just found its way through the system and caught in there. So always check that they're all working. So we've got the heating back on now, just filled the rad up, done the rads upstairs to make sure the heating's coming through, and it's nice. So all we're doing now is waiting for this worktop to be dropped out, or waiting for Dave from Plumbase to let me know it's in, or at least on its way. However, look who's turned up. Big Dave saving the day.
Don't speak too soon.
Well, yeah, we haven't unpacked it yet, and judging by the packaging on it, we don't know. But this is what I always say. Look after the merchants where you get all your gear from, like Dave and the lads. They're good as gold. You know, if I ever have an issue with anything, you'll sort it out. But, well, you'll try and sort it out, won't you? You know, everyone's not perfect. Sometimes a merchant will order the wrong stuff, or you tell them the wrong fittings or whatever, but if they can go out of their way and get it sorted for you, they will. Dave and the lads at Plumbase are bang on for that. So yeah, we've got the replacement worktop. So now we can get this in as well. So spot on. Cheers, Dave.
Minus the plinth.
Minus, yeah, we're still waiting on the print for the bottom. When's that? Wednesday?
Tomorrow.
So, sorted. See, it's not perfect, is he? Right. You can't write this. You genuinely cannot write it. We just opened the box. I filmed that little bit you've just seen. Just open the box. Exactly where it is. And look at that. Eat shit. As if that snapped clean in half. Flipping heck.
CT1.
CT1. Shit.
Leave it with me.
Cannot believe that. We was even joking as well about the packaging. Fucking hell. Dave will sort it, won't you, Dave?
Yeah, of course we will.
Oh, as if. Honestly, you could not write that. You could not write it. Loads of people are going to be in the comments going, you knew it was bust before. Trust me, I do not want this to be bust because I want to get it in. Bollocks!